Finral's first fight with Langris was, to put it lightly, explosive, and it had fans all across the world, myself included, on the edge of their seats, rooting for Finral to finally triumph over his younger brother, but sadly, he was almost killed, only saved by his incredible squad mates. Round 2, however, was different. This fight had the potential to be everything the first fight should have been. Not to say the first wasn't good, but this was it, Chief! This was on a whole other level in comparison, and the animation staff knew this, is what I wanted to say. But instead, the animation, aside from one scene, was just kinda meh. I loved Noelle's big moment last week. I did a whole video about it. But in all honesty, I do kinda feel that this should have been prioritized. But other than that, what actually happened in the episode was just fantastic. And it's just one more reason why this arc is my favorite arc of all time. The tension, the stakes, the difference in power between everyone, everything just came together to make this one phenomenal episode content-wise. And I want to talk about what made this episode such a standout, even though I was personally expecting more from the animation team, especially with how the previews were looking. Come on, y'all! Okay, so as some of you might know, I am an animation geek, and I love when this show gets the art and animation it deserves. Unfortunately, the animation wasn't very good this week, but the art was pretty great most of the time. Clap, clap to the person in charge of art corrections this week. You are the GOAT! This was a very important episode, one of the many highlights of the Elf arc. Not the biggest one, but a pretty fantastic point in the story nonetheless. We can really see what this fight means to Finral as he desperately tries his best and gives his all, not even sure if he's going to live through it, as he barely survived a fight with his brother before, back when he wasn't buffed with elf magic. But he jumps in anyway, having faith in his superiors to have his back, and vice versa. The Battle of Brothers is obviously the highlight of the episode, but Yami and Jack get in some hits too. I mean, they are captains, I'd be a little confused if they couldn't, and they form a pretty unbeatable strategy to combat these elves. But even still, the fight is intense, and there's so much uncertainty until the very end, when we see the two siblings unconscious laying next to each other. The battle is finally over. Not just in the present, but all future battles as well. They can finally be brothers again. This was more than a sibling rivalry. It was more than harbored resentment. It was an uncontrollable clash of hatred and fear. Langris' hatred for his brother who left the family because he felt he wasn't wanted, and Finral's fear of his brother's accomplishments and the intimidation he felt because of it. All of this resolved with a battle of magic. If you haven't tuned into Black Clover, you really need to. Now is the time. Like I said last week, you can watch the anime or you can read the manga, but this is one series you should not be sleeping on. It's got a ton of heart and it deserves all the love it can get. By the way, things are gonna start really heating up soon, so get to binging! I also want to give a huge thank you to everyone who subscribed in the last week or so. I am now at 2,646 subscribers as of the recording of this, and just a few days ago, I was at 1,600. 1,000 subs in a few days? Y'all are insane! And I mean that in the absolute best way possible. You guys are just incredible, and I wouldn't be where I am now, or will be in the future, without each and every single one of you. If you haven't seen my last video about how Noelle is the best written female in all of shonen anime, I suggest you check it out and maybe consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, hitting the bell button, and letting me know what else you'll want to see. My name is Kaiba, and you have been fantastic. See you next time. Bye-bye! But seriously, what's up with Patrick's face?